Wealth is not something you chase. It is not something outside of you, fixed in banks, hidden in vaults, or locked in systems you cannot access. Wealth is energy in motion, constantly flowing, moving, shifting, and seeking the one who is willing to accept its reality within. Too often people make the mistake of believing that money is hard, rigid, and scarce. They see it as something distant, as if it belongs to others and must be wrestled into their possession. But the truth is far simpler, far more profound. Money and abundance are alive, not dead figures on a page, not mere coins or paper, but living energy. And like all energy, it responds to alignment. It flows to the one who knows it is already there. When you understand this, you stop chasing and you start receiving. You no longer run after wealth as though it were running away from you. Instead, you stand still in the recognition that it is already in motion, already on its way, already drawn into your orbit by the silent magnet of your inner state. Consider the air you breathe. You do not struggle to make it come to you. You do not doubt that oxygen is available. You simply inhale, trusting the unseen supply to meet you. Wealth works in the same way. It is already in circulation, and it is already moving in your direction the moment you inhale it within. Through belief, through imagination, through the quiet acceptance of, I am wealthy now. Every thought you hold, every feeling you permit, every inner conversation you repeat, either opens the gate wider for wealth to flow or closes it shut. When you think thoughts of lack, you dam the river. When you dwell on fears, you block the current. But when you think from abundance, when you feel gratitude for riches already present within, the river overflows. You become the wide channel through which wealth expresses itself. Remember, money is never static. It does not belong to one person forever. It moves, it circulates, it travels. It seeks new expressions, new homes, new channels. Your only work is to place yourself in readiness, to be the one who welcomes it. And how do you do that? By accepting wealth in consciousness first. By declaring within yourself, I am the one to whom wealth flows. I am the one who is ready to receive. Do not wait for proof to believe. Belief is the proof. Do not wait for numbers in an account to feel rich. Feeling rich is the cause, not the result. The outer balance will always mirror the inner one. So stop treating money as something outside of you and begin to treat it as energy already alive within you. Speak to it as if it were your companion. Bless it when it comes, and bless it as it multiplies. Affirm to yourself that the current of wealth is unbroken, that it flows without obstruction, that it is moving through your life right now. And then, most importantly, live as though it were true. Walk with the calm of one who knows their supply is guaranteed. Think with the assurance of one whose accounts are overflowing. Move with the quiet dignity of one who is already wealthy. For when you live in this way, you prove to life that you are ready. Wealth is energy in motion. It is not waiting for permission. It is already flowing. It has already begun its journey toward you. Step into its current with faith and let it carry you to the evidence of what you already know within. Wealth does not arrive because you chase it. It does not come because of endless hours of struggle, desperate grasping, or frantic pursuit. Wealth comes because you have claimed it within. Everything begins with the inner consent. Everything begins with the bold declaration in the unseen, I am wealthy now. Most people live backward. They wait for the outer evidence before they permit themselves to feel rich. They wait for the check in hand before they allow themselves to breathe freely. They wait for numbers on a screen before they can relax into abundance. But this is not how wealth is born. The outer always bows to the inner. What you claim inwardly is what the world must by law reflect outwardly. Think of the seed. No harvest appears before the seed is planted. The field does not blossom until the seed has been buried in unseen soil. In the same way, your wealth cannot show itself in your hands until you have accepted it in your mind, until you have embraced it in your imagination, until you have dared to feel its reality within you. Chasing wealth without claiming it first is like running after a shadow. No matter how hard you chase, it will remain just beyond reach. But stand still and change the position of your light within, and the shadow will move on its own. So it is with money and abundance. You shift the inner light by claiming yourself to already be what you seek. And then wealth, like a shadow, adjusts itself accordingly. The question is never, how will it come? The question is always, have I claimed it? For the moment you consent to wealth inwardly, the moment you say, yes, this is who I am, the world begins to reorganize itself around that acceptance. Situations, people, opportunities, all of them are drawn by the force of your inner claim. The claim does not need noise. It does not need desperate pleading. It requires a quiet, steady knowing, a whispered thank you before the evidence arrives, a calm assumption that what is true within must show itself without. This is the secret doorway into abundance. So, pause for a moment, close your eyes and feel it. The possession of wealth. See yourself surrounded by it. Imagine the relief, the freedom, the expansion that wealth brings. And then make the claim. This is mine now. I am this now. I live in this state now. That act of consent, repeated and sustained, is the magnet that pulls wealth into form. Never underestimate the power of this inner acceptance. The world cannot resist it, life cannot deny it. You cannot outwork your beliefs, but you can always outbelieve your circumstances. When you place your consent on wealth, circumstances must bend to reveal what you have already accepted in spirit. The inner claim comes first, always first. The outer world is only the echo. If you want to hear a different sound, you must speak a different word within. If you want to see a different life, you must choose a different state within. Do not wait for proof. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for the world to announce your wealth before you announce it yourself. You are the announcer. You are the voice that sets the tone. You are the one who consents. And once you consent, nothing can stop the manifestation. Wealth is not far. It is not coming from a distance. It is already yours the moment you declare it so. So claim it now. Claim it boldly. Claim it silently. Claim it every day until it becomes the only truth you know. Your imagination is the magnet. It is not your effort, not your struggle, not even the hours you work in the outer world that determine what flows into your life. It is the picture you hold of yourself within that silently arranges the outer scene to match it. Everything you experience is a mirror. The people you meet, the opportunities that appear, the money that arrives or delays, all of it is drawn to you by the silent command of your imagination. What you consistently see in your inner world becomes the blueprint for your outer world. If you see yourself small, struggling, and lacking, the magnet within pulls circumstances to confirm that vision. If you see yourself abundant, free, and overflowing, then that same magnet pulls evidence to match it. You cannot escape this law. The outer must bend to the inner picture, because imagination is the force that gives life its shape. Consider this. Every invention, every business, every fortune, every work of art, every towering structure began as an unseen image. Before it became visible to the eye, it was visible to the mind. What is true for inventions is also true for your wealth. It must be born in imagination before it can be delivered into your hands. So, if your imagination is the magnet, the question becomes, what picture are you holding? Do you see yourself weighed down by debt, always behind, always reaching but never grasping? Then you are magnetizing more of the same. Or do you see yourself wealthy, confident, serene, walking in the certainty of overflow? Then you are magnetizing the life that corresponds to that vision. The magnet never argues. It does not judge whether your picture is small or grand, worthy or unworthy. It simply attracts what you hold with feeling. That is why the greatest work you can do is not in the outer world, but in the unseen workshop of your mind. There you craft the picture. There you sculpt the self-image. There you decide who you are. The imagination must be fed daily. You cannot hold a great vision once and expect it to live forever. Just as you water a seed, you must nurture the picture. Visit it often, step into it, feel it as real. Let it take root in your heart until it becomes natural, until it feels like your true identity. When it feels natural, when it feels like, of course, this is who I am, then the outer world has no choice but to display it. Do not underestimate the quiet power of this magnet. You may think nothing is happening as you hold your inner image, but beneath the surface, forces are moving. People are being shifted, events are being rearranged, opportunities are being crafted, all to match the picture you have chosen to sustain. So stop fighting with the outer world. Stop wrestling with appearances. They are nothing but shadows of yesterday's imagination. Change the image, and tomorrow's shadows will be new. Change the picture of yourself, and the entire world must change to match it. This is why the richest work you can do is to imagine richly, to see yourself already in possession, to hear the voices congratulating you, to feel the weight of money in your hands, the joy of freedom in your heart, the calm of security in your mind. The more vividly you live there, the quicker the magnet draws it here. Your imagination is not daydreaming, it is creation. It is not fantasy, it is the unseen law that governs the scene. Hold the picture long enough, believe in it deeply enough, and you will see it crystallize into fact. So, I ask you, what are you imagining right now? For whatever it is, you are magnetizing it. Choose the image wisely. Enlarge it boldly. Live in it faithfully. For the world has no choice but to mirror the vision you dare to hold. One of the greatest traps that keeps people from receiving wealth is the constant questioning of how it will arrive. The mind craves details, steps, and guarantees. It wants to map the entire path before it dares to believe. But life does not work that way. The truth is simple. You are not responsible for the how. You are only responsible for the state. The channels may be hidden from you now. The exact way in which money will flow, the specific person who may call, the opportunity that may open, all of this belongs to the unseen order of life. It is not your burden to carry. The moment you embody the end state, the law ensures delivery. Think of a seed planted in soil. You do not sit beside it every day, demanding to know how it will grow, which root will push first, how the stem will break through the surface. You simply trust the process, because you know that once the seed is sown, the growth is inevitable. So it is with your desires. Once you have planted the end state within, I am wealthy now, I am abundant now, the growth is guaranteed. But the impatient mind interferes. It worries, it questions, it calculates. Will it come through my job? Will it come through business? Will it come through someone else? What if nothing happens? And in doing so, it uproots the seed, disturbing the soil of consciousness. No seed can grow when it is constantly pulled out to be examined. Detach from the how. Release it completely. The law of life has infinite channels, and most of them are beyond your current imagination. Why limit yourself to one expected path when the universe is limitless? Wealth can arrive through ways you have never considered, through doors you have never noticed, through people you have never met. Your only task is to embody the end. To embody the end means to live as though it were already so. It means to walk, think, and feel from the place of completion, not from the place of longing. The one who embodies the end does not question the details, because they already know the result. They rest in certainty. They live in gratitude before the evidence. They understand that the channels are many, but the outcome is one. Consider a traveler boarding a plane. Once they are seated and the destination is set, they do not trouble themselves with how the pilot will navigate the skies, which routes will be chosen, or how the engines will function. They rest because the end is assured. In the same way, when you have set your inner state, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am free, you no longer need to monitor the path. You simply trust that the law will carry you there. This detachment is not laziness, it is wisdom. It is the understanding that the unseen intelligence is greater than your limited plans. It can weave together details, circumstances, and events in ways you could never design. All that is required of you is faith. So the next time your mind whispers, "But how?" answer it with stillness. Say to yourself, "It is not my concern. The how is handled. My work is done because I have accepted the end." And then let the unseen currents carry it to you. Detach from the how, and you free the law to operate without obstruction. Detach from the how, and you allow wealth to flow in its perfect way. Detach from the how, and you will marvel at the brilliance of the delivery when it arrives, often in ways so effortless, so unexpected, that you will know it could only have been arranged by a higher order. Remain in readiness, for expectation is the open door. Wealth does not arrive where it is doubted, nor does abundance enter where there is no room made for it. To be ready is not a matter of physical preparation first, but of conscious preparation. The mind must be dressed for the occasion before the outer gift can arrive. Expectation is a signal. It tells life that you are willing, that you are open, that you are prepared to receive. Think of a guest invited to your home. You set the table, you prepare the space, you anticipate the knock at the door. You do not wonder if they will come, you know they are on their way. So it is with wealth. The inner table must be set before the feast arrives. Many people block their blessings by living in contradiction. They declare wealth but prepare for lack. They speak abundance but arrange their lives as though shortage were permanent. They pray for increase but think small, plan small and expect little. This is not readiness. This is double-mindedness. And a double mind cannot receive. To remain in readiness means to align your inner world with the reality of wealth before it arrives. It means walking in the mood of prosperity, speaking as though the increase were already here, living as though the harvest had already come. Readiness is not waiting, it is living in the assumption of already having. Expectation is powerful because it keeps the door wide open. When you expect something, you are not surprised when it arrives. You do not call it a miracle, you call it natural. This is the essence of readiness. You are not shocked by the blessing, you are prepared for it. You welcome it as though it belonged, because in truth it does. Ask yourself, am I ready for the wealth I claim? If it arrived tonight, would I know how to receive it? Would I know how to walk in it, how to hold it, how to live from it? Readiness is not only about desire, it is about capacity. Wealth comes where it is received with steadiness, not where it is fumbled with fear. This is why consciousness must be prepared first. The one who has prepared within is not overwhelmed when the outer supply comes. They are steady, calm, and confident because they have lived with wealth in imagination long before it appeared in form. To them, the arrival feels natural. Readiness also means expectancy, without anxiety. It is not the restless pacing of one who doubts, but the quiet assurance of one who knows. It is not the nervous waiting of uncertainty, but the calm posture of certainty. Readiness says, it is done, it is mine. I am only waiting for what is already secured to show itself. Think of the farmer. After planting the seed, he prepares the barn, the tools, the storehouses for the harvest. He does not say, perhaps it will grow, perhaps it will not. He knows the law of the seed and he prepares accordingly. In the same way, once you have planted the seed of wealth in consciousness, readiness means living in full expectation of the harvest. If you prepare for little, you will receive little. If you prepare for much, you will receive much. Life does not send a harvest where there is no room for it. Make room in your mind, make room in your words, make room in your daily choices. Show life that you are ready. Remain in readiness. Expectation is the open door. Conscious preparation is the signal that tells wealth. Here is the place to land. Here is the vessel that is ready to be filled. When you remain in readiness, you are never caught off guard by blessings. You do not say, I can't believe it. You say, of course, I was ready all along. To receive massive wealth, you must live as though you already have it. You must let the feeling of possession, of completion, of abundance become your present reality. For the truth is this: nothing comes to you until it comes through you. And it can only come through you when you wear the state of fulfillment like a garment. Most people make the mistake of living in postponement. They say, one day I will be wealthy. One day I will feel secure. One day I will live in freedom. And so they live in waiting, in longing, in the empty space between now and the imagined future. But life does not respond to waiting. It responds to being. The great secret is to live in the end, to walk now as the one you desire to be, to feel now as though the wish were already realized. This is not pretending, it is creation. Pretending knows it is false. Living from fulfillment knows it is true. Think of a person in love. Even before the wedding, even before the formal union, they already carry themselves differently. Their walk changes, their mood changes, their outlook shifts, because they are inwardly fulfilled. And that fulfillment spills into every area of their life. So it is with wealth. When you live as though you already possess it, your vibration changes, your words change, your energy changes, and the world, by law, reflects it back to you. To live from fulfillment does not mean reckless spending or empty display. It means adopting the inner posture of one who already has. It means walking in calm assurance rather than restless craving. It means speaking with gratitude rather than complaint. It means moving through the day with dignity, joy, and peace, because you know your supply is secure. The feeling is the secret door. If you can capture the feeling of already having, then nothing can stop its arrival. This is why imagination and emotion are so powerful. Together they create the inner state that compels the outer world to match it. If you wake each day feeling the joy of wealth, the relief of freedom, the calm of security, you are telling life who you are. And life cannot help but answer. Ask yourself, what does the wealthy version of me feel like? How does that self think, speak, walk, and act? Then begin now to live from that state. Not tomorrow, not when the bank account changes. Now, let the mood of fulfillment settle upon you and remain with you. Living from fulfillment also means refusing to argue with appearances. The outer world may temporarily reflect lack, but you do not surrender your state to appearances. You remain anchored in the inner reality. You refuse to come down from the place of fulfillment because you know the outer must eventually yield. Imagine a rich banquet already prepared for you in another room. Though you do not yet see it, you walk with the certainty of one who knows the feast is waiting. You do not worry, you do not beg, you do not doubt. You live in the calm assurance of fulfillment. And then, in due time, the door opens and the banquet appears exactly as you knew it would. So live from fulfillment now. Speak from it, walk from it, act from it. Let the feeling of wealth be more real to you than the evidence of lack. And soon the outer world will have no choice but to align. To receive massive wealth, you must live as though you already have it, not as a dream, not as a wish, but as a present reality. Let the feeling become your atmosphere, your truth, your identity. For the one who lives in fulfillment, will never wait long for fulfillment to show itself in form. Beloved, wealth is not something distant, nor is it waiting in some far-off future. Wealth is energy in motion, already moving toward you. It responds not to your chase, but to your claim. It flows not through effort alone, but through the magnet of your imagination. The channels of its arrival may be hidden from sight, but once you embody the end, delivery is certain. Remain always in readiness, for expectation is the open door through which abundance enters. And above all, live from fulfillment. Walk today as though the promise were already kept, as though the harvest were already gathered, as though the blessing were already in your hands. When you live from that state, the world must bend to reflect it. So I tell you, massive wealth is already in motion. The current is flowing. The tide is rising. Be ready now. Stand in faith. Claim your inheritance. Live from the end, and let the unseen law bring into form what you have already dared to accept within. And so it is.